Hi there, welcome back. Well, if you're looking for a security camera setup today, you'd probably be overwhelmed by all the options out there. So I thought it'd be a really great idea to give you a rundown based on my experience over the last 5 years of using security cameras. First of all, it makes sense to stick with one brand so that you can access all of the cameras from one app. I chose Reolink for two main reasons. First of all, the footage can be stored locally without a subscription. Secondly, they're part of the Works with Home Assistant system, which means that you get a really high degree of integration between your cameras and your home automation system. Now, this is not a sponsored video, and the views on each of these cameras are my own, but Reolink did send me these cameras free of charge for review. When planning your system, firstly, you need to decide how many cameras you need to cover the entire outside areas of your home, and secondly, how they will be connected and powered. Walk around your home and locate the areas where you can install the cameras. There are two main types of cameras: PTZ or pan tilt zoom cameras, which can move and focus in on a target, and fixed lens cameras. PTZ cameras are really good at giving you a close-up image of the target, which can help in identifying faces and number plates, but they can miss their action if they're not aimed at the right area. For example, if your camera is pointed at one side of your garden and a burglar walks up from the other side, you may miss out on all the action. Now, I'm currently testing a Reolink PTZ camera, which is soon to be released in 2026, that has 3 sensors, PIR sensors, aimed at overcoming this problem. I recently caught an image of a thief stealing a tool from my front garden using this feature. Reolink has quite a few options when it comes to PTZ. We've got units like the TrackMix PoE. This has got a dual lens system, so you've got a wide angle and a telephoto option. They also have the 823S2, which is an absolute beast of a camera with a 16 times optical zoom. There are also battery powered options such as the Reolink Atris PT Ultra. Fixed cameras have a limited field of view, but this has been overcome by the introduction of dual lens cameras, which can give a 180-degree field of view. There are both battery-powered options, such as the Argus 4 Pro, as well as wired options like the Duo 3 Wi-Fi. As you can see here with the view from the Elite floodlight camera, I've got a complete 180-degree view of the side of my house. Cameras can be powered in 3 ways: mains power, power over Ethernet, or batteries, often with solar power support. When using battery power, you're usually limited to only recording clips when motion is actually happening, and this can result in missing out on critical information. Now, I see that Reolink has recently released a 12-watt solar panel, which is double the power output of the 6-watt panel that is usually shipped with the cameras. What this means is that if you pair it up with a camera with a large battery, this means that you can then charge the battery, and under favorable conditions, you can actually have 24/7 recording according to them. I'm really excited to try this out. Power over Ethernet is always the best and most reliable way of connecting your cameras, but do remember that you will need to wire these directly back to Reolink NVR, as the hubs don't offer power over Ethernet. Alternatively, you can buy separate power injectors for each camera. Cameras like the Elite floodlight are really cool because they allow you to wire them directly into the power of where your existing light was on the outside of your home. Once it's connected, you've got these really powerful spotlights that'll light up the area instantly the moment the camera detects movement. It's got these 2 lenses which are giving you that 180-degree view, which is stitched together in the middle. When it comes to storage, we have a number of options. Reolink does, of course, have their cloud storage, which can be used. However, most people opt for local storage on these devices. First option, of course, would be going with the SD card within the camera itself. Benefits of this is it's very simple to set up. However, if the camera were stolen, you would lose all of your footage. Next up, we've got the more traditional NVR. Benefits of the NVR is that it offers power over Ethernet, so it'll power your PoE cameras, and it will record onto the hard disk within here, allowing us to have 24/7 recordings. Next up, we've got the Home Hub. So the Reolink Home Hub is a simple option that has 2 SD cards on the back, which will record all of your footage from your cameras linked up to this device via Wi-Fi. Then what they did is they sort of created a hybrid of these two. They reduced the Reolink Home Hub Pro. So this one is a hub, but it has inside of it a hard drive. So we can do 24/7 recording to this device. However, this will not offer us power for power over Ethernet cameras. Now we're seeing a huge amount of change in the smart home cameras that are out there at the moment, and there are all sorts of intelligent features that are being included, and Reolink is certainly right at the forefront of these changes. The Reolink cameras offer local AI detection of persons, vehicles, and animals. The Home Hub Pro gives me a list of weekly insights showing a graph of the number of alerts, and it then breaks it down into the various type of alerts from people, cars, animals, as well as line crossing events. Now, one of the problems when recording is trying to find individual incidents on your search. So Reoneura now allows you to search, for example, a man in a black shirt. We select that and it will come up with all the results for a man with a black shirt. Well, I hope this short introduction into what security cameras can do for your smart home today gives you a little bit of an insight as to where to start and how to pick the right cameras for your security system. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.